Hey.
Bro,
shit, man.
hold on. Hey,
Kind of my blessings. On the way, a couple lessons.
hold on. You didn't throw on the mixtape.
I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you niggas. I'm living my best life. Ain't going.
What's good, YouTube? Hey, welcome back to another video. Hey, today we got a good one today. Today we got Young Don the Sauce God. You feel me? Hey, and this is the first time I'm bringing him to the channel. I've been watching his videos. His videos is lit, so I'm gonna bring him to y'all. We about to react to it, man. This about to be hilarious. Everybody, fasten your seatbelts. Let's get ready to go. What are you even talking about? Video starts now. Let's get it.
All the girls want to know what his eggplant looks like. Swallowed up all of Jamaica. He did smash Android 18. I'm on the street. On the boulevard. Shawty told me I'm a superstar. This guy did not like me, which bothered me. Because
The previews, you feel me? Bro, these visuals tight. Hey, that was cold. Oh, his merch right there.
it's just so important that people see us. Not like us, just see us. Of course, I assume most people want to be liked, but I'm talking about just being recognized as someone who simply exists. I think it's because being acknowledged makes you feel like you matter. I think that's the main reason why some people hate on other people online. Because in their world, or at least where it counts, they feel as if they don't matter, as if they're not being seen. And they know that if they say something mean or offensive online, they're much more likely to elicit a response, albeit a bad one. Because to them, maybe it's better to not be liked but seen than to not be seen at all. Or maybe they're just losers, ain't shit people with nothing better to do. Can you think of a time when someone hurt you simply by treating you as if you don't exist? For me, when I ask myself that question, one day in particular comes to mind. So let me take you back to high school, man. My first high school, Arden High, Kingston, Jamaica. I was somewhere between 13 and 15
Jamaica, come on. What are you talking about?
High school at that point for me was strange, man, because that was just a weird age, period. Like, I had just figured out, right? That you could watch porn and jerk off at the same time, which was just way too much power for me to have at that age. Like, somebody should have been there to stop me. Also, I had this unhealthy desire to be liked, which was an unrealistic desire. Why? Because there wasn't anyone there to like. I wasn't a person yet at 13. I don't even know if I had thoughts, you know? Like, I'm 23 now, and every day I think things. Like, I just introspect about life and what do I want to do with my life? Why do I do the things that I do on a daily basis? And are they moving me towards a place where I'll feel satisfied with how I have spent my time once I die? I'm gonna die. I'll think about things like that every day, and I'll create new thoughts that I've never had before, and then I'll think about those thoughts. When I was 13, I just knew things that other people told me. Also, you gotta go through things to become a person, to develop character. Life has to happen to you. So there really wasn't much there to like, but that didn't stop me from wanting people to like me. So there I am, about 13 years old, with this desire to be popular, but not in the douchebag way. You know, like, I didn't want to be the stereotypical popular guy in high school. I mean, you know this guy. He's amazing at everything, abnormally good looking, great at school, funny, probably a star athlete on one or more athletic teams. All the girls want to know what his eggplant looks like, and possibly a few of the guys. I mean, this is you're trying to be gay now, which is fine for them. I mean, they seem to be having fun. I'll never know. Anyway, this guy knows it. He knows he's all of those things, and he's kind of an asshole about it. That wasn't what I wanted. I mean, don't get me wrong, though. I'm sure if that kind of admiration was thrusted upon me, I would have ate that stuff like Sunday morning breakfast, my dear. My head would have grown at such a rate that it would have eventually hit a critical mass, thus caving in on itself, forming a black hole of ego that would have just swallowed up all of Jamaica. Pause, and eventually the entire planet. But of course, that didn't happen. Obviously, no, the form of popularity that I wanted was very different. I wanted to be the guy that everyone just sorta knew and was more or less liked. Not loved, just like, hey. Like, I wanted a kind of popularity where if you went into any classroom with people from my grade level and just said to a random person, hey, you know Don, right? They would be like, yeah, he plays basketball, right? Yeah, I know Don. And then if you were to ask, what do you think about him? The person would be like, oh, I don't know, he's okay, I guess. Seems fine. That's it. That's all I wanted. I didn't need it to go any further than that. That's all I desired. Not, oh, Don,
know you like that.
what a great guy. Or, Don, I love that dude. Just, he's fine. I know exactly who you're talking about, and he's okay. And you really shouldn't need that. Honestly, it shouldn't matter to you what other people think about
Facts,
you.
bro. Live your life.
Okay? I was
Live
a
your life.
child. And if you're watching this right now and you're between the ages of 13 and 14, you probably don't think you're a child. But you're a fucking child, okay? Do you need me to show you? Okay. What tax bracket do you fall in? You don't know.
You don't know.
Do you know how to get a car loan? No, you don't.
Why this dude singing with it?
Still ask your parents for money. If you answered no, and then yes, respectively, you're a goddamn child, okay? Or you might just be in college. There's actually not much of a difference, to be honest. But either way, enjoy it while it lasts. Anyway, like I said, I was a kid and I didn't know who I was. I was insecure about a lot of things. So in order to validate myself, I needed validation from other people. So to fix that, I would try to insert myself in the popular kids group. And there was this one group of kids who, in my eyes, had the exact kind of popularity that I wanted. All of them had at least that, oh, I know you, and you're okay kind of popularity. And because I was friends with a couple of them, one through basketball and one I went to prep school with, which was grades 1 through 6, I managed to just be in the group. But not really.
In the background like this.
Like, you know Krillin, right? From Dragon Ball Z? If you don't, well, that's honestly your fault. This is 2018 and anime's mainstream now. But Krillin,
you be seeing them in Adidas, Nike,
Vegeta, and Gohan, and Trunks, like Super Saiyans. Okay, like what is this dude doing? Hanging out with these guys. But because Krillin and Goku have been homies since day one, he just sort of gets a pass, and everyone just kind of tolerates him. So, I guess
good analogy,
I was the Krillin of the group.
Why are you singing everything?
I hate Krillin, man. I fucking hate Krillin. Like, Team 4-Star has ruined Krillin for me forever. Although, what? He did smash Android 18. I want the sheep. Anyway.
Yeah, Android 18 was a baddie. Huh?
Ah, shit.
Why you throwing a throwback Kanye?
Hey, what you on, bro? Oh, okay, this what we doing?
Oh.
Hey.
Oh,
shit, man.
hold on.
I was in kind of my blessings. On the way, a couple lessons.
Hold on. You didn't throw on the mixtape.
Never listen when you stretch. Couple niggas on the boulevard. Shawty told me I'm a superstar. Pray we never got a ticket for.
Hey, hold on.
I think I'm made for this.
Why you just throwing a mixtape like that?
Yeah, tell me how they let wait for it. I can take a run, but I'm about to hit a run, so you niggas better brace for it. BFVD is the
Hey, let me hop on that.
Hold
on. Let me get on the beat, yeah. Let me get on the beat. Okay, you just gonna cut me off? Hey, we can make something happen. What you mean?
Anyway, in this group, right, there's this one guy, and we'll call him Tom. And Tom was very popular. Everyone in my grade knew him, and to my knowledge, most people really liked him. And I'm not quite sure why. Like, he was a funny guy, I guess, and good looking enough. Probably. What I know for sure is that he was a very likable person, and he had this grown man aura about him at 15 years old, or at least that's how he appeared to a 13-year-old Don Hines. I thought this dude was so cool. I mean, he just always knew what to say, but for some
we all
reason,
knew one of those, though.
He just didn't fuck with me, and I'm not sure why. I honestly think that at the time, I just wasn't cool enough. And he probably thought I was weird, man. There were so many reasons to think that I was weird. For one, I've always spoken like this. I mean, of course, when I was younger, I had a much stronger Jamaican accent and a smaller vocabulary, but I've always spoken like this. Like, when I just moved to America, people could tell that I wasn't from America, but they wouldn't think that I just moved to America from Jamaica at 15. To them, I sounded like I had already been living there for years, and I just had a little bit of an accent left over. That's because I didn't really speak patois growing up, and if you don't know what that is, I'll finish the rest of this paragraph on my script in patois. Alright, so, you see my mother never let me talk like this when I was growing up. She grew up in another country, no money, never have money for buy shoes for go to school, and it's
that's hard.
God and hard work, and she managed to put herself through college, get her master's, and right off the bat, she make a decision, so she'll go do everything she can to make sure her children grow to be successful, including to be able to speak proper English better than anybody else. You understand? I don't understand.
I understand that completely.
This did not work in my favor back in high school, because even the kids who came from money, which I did not, spoke like this, but their patois was even better. So that in combination with all my other quirks, I'm sure that a lot of people thought that I was weird at that age. Anyway, whatever the reason, this guy did not like me, which bothered me because I admired him. Deep down, I knew I wanted his validation. Not friendship, just acknowledgement, the lowest level of reciprocating respect. So one day after school, the group was chilling in their usual spot, and then Starboy comes over to join us, and in Jamaica it's customary for men to acknowledge other men when you enter their vicinity with a dap up, much like in America, as a way of saying, hey, I see you. I recognize you as a pair in my presence.
Yeah,
so he comes up, right? And like 4 guys, including myself, are all sitting beside each other on a wall. So we all extend our hands to hail him up, as we would say in Jamaica. And my mans comes up, daps up the 2 guys sitting to my left, skips my hand as if I wasn't even there, and then daps up the dude to my right, and just sits down and starts talking to everyone else without skipping a beat.
That's real tough, man.
That small interaction in that moment crushed my self-esteem. And it's not even like anyone in the group said anything. Like, nobody laughed at me. I'm not even sure if anyone else really saw. They saw, but they didn't have to. But they did. Because in that subtle exchange, in that lack of acknowledgement, Tom said a million things, with all of them having one reoccurring theme. You are not worthy. The feeling that I had in my stomach, I wish I had a picture of my face from that moment. It probably would have looked like this. A little bit of confusion, maybe a subtle stress smile because I smiled in awkward situations. Probably looking at the floor out of fear that someone else saw, and if I looked them in the eyes, they would look into my soul and see the hurt inside.
Y'all know y'all been there.
I wish I could say that this was the last time I hung out with that group, but I spent the rest of Jamaican high school trying to fit in with these kids with little success, and it wasn't until I moved to America and met some friends who I thought were cool and thought that I was cool for just being me that I started to learn that I don't need validation from other people to feel good about myself. I'm worth loving, period. And I would eventually hone the skill of self-confidence and self-love until I turned into the person that you see before you today. That was really nice. But, surprise, I still haven't told you the best part of the story yet. What? So, fast forward to about a year ago, and by this time, I had become a person that 13-year-old me wouldn't even recognize. Okay. I just got my first real wave of subscribers, like I just passed the 100,000 mark or something like that, and I'm starting to get DMs from all these random people telling me how much they love the channel and how glad they are that they found it. And among all
y'all
those
get me like that though. Y'all get me right.
Sends me a DM. Who? Motherfucking Tom. What do you say? So I opened the message, right? And my man's is really bigging me up for making it on YouTube, showing me love and respect for my newfound success. You can imagine how the message probably sounded. So I read the message. Okay. And then
that's how it be, bro.
Deleted it. I deleted it hoping that he would see that I read it. Because I wanted him to know that I read it, not to respond. Yeah. I wanted him to feel, even if it was only for a second,
bro,
what it feels like to be treated as if you're not even worth being acknowledged.
Why are you singing everything?
Hindsight, I realized that I shouldn't have done that. I should have said thank you and moved on. Because in that moment, by choosing to do what I did, I was no better a person than he was to me back when we were kids. Who knows what he was going through personally back then as to why he treated me like that. So, my man, if you think I'm talking about you, because I know you still follow me on Instagram, and I assume you watch my videos from time to time. If you're watching this video right now, I want to say I'm sorry that I didn't reply to you, and thank you. It really does mean a lot to me that a lot of my old classmates Jamaica recognize me for what I've managed to accomplish here on YouTube. So thank you, and I hope you're doing well. Moral of the story, if you're someone who's popular, or someone who's just liked more than someone else, try to be humble. And the best way for someone in your position to be humble is to treat those people that society would label as less than you, whether it be social status, money, looks, whatever, is to treat them with respect. Because not everyone is fortunate enough to be in your position. And by doing that one little thing, by
y'all listen up, y'all ears open.
People who know that other people sees them as less than you, by treating them with that level of respect, these people that are put below you will actually do whatever they can to lift you even higher. Because you chose to show them respect, to treat them with dignity when they know that you didn't have. Those are the kind of people that become legendary.
Ooh, y'all heard that? Legendary.
Boulevard forever.
What are you talking about? Hey man. That was tough. His videos always have a message to it. They funny and they always have a message to it. That's what I like. Hey, y'all go fuck with his channel too. Man, that's crazy. Hey man. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe for the next one. He's always laid out here. Hey man, let's hit 700 subscribers. The goal is 1,000 and then up and beyond. Alright, y'all.